I can turn this off for a little bit and see if it helps. Get back on it. Let's just see if it helps. If not, we'll put it back on.
There it is.
That came on?
Not yet.
I just quit. I'm not streaming the internet right now. I'm on regular TV. Bella's on the internet.
All right. I'm live.
Okay.
All right. Let's give people a minute here to jump on with us. I'm sent an invite to Jodi, and let's see how this is going to work. I'll go ahead and send invites out to the group. Ah, I'm so excited. All right, so if you're on with me, just say hello. Let me know you're here. Hi, Darcy. Hi, Mom. Looks like we got some people jumping on here. And I sent Joe. I'm having a little technical difficulty. I was going to try to do it on my laptop, but I don't see a button where you can invite somebody. So, I'll try to be as still as possible. Give everybody a second to jump on. And let us know that you're here. I'm so excited! Yay! So awesome. There she is!
Hey!
Hi, Jen.
Can you hear me?
God. Yep, I figured it out. There we go. There she is. Hi. Figure we give people
everybody.
a jump on. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I got my kiddos fed and entertained, hopefully, for a little bit.
I know how that is. I have a 3-year-old.
You do?
Yeah, so you got 2 boys, huh?
Yeah, 7 and 10. Crazy town. Crazy.
Nice. I have 4 boys, but they're all adults now.
God bless you. I'm maxed out. I'm maxed out.
What state are you in again?
I am in Nebraska, about an hour northwest of Omaha, in a tiny town called North Bend.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
I have I have a dad that lives over in Nebraska and a little sister. And so,
Perfect.
yeah, been through there.
Yeah, it's cold.
Awesome. So we have a couple of people on, and I've sent invites out to some more people. But we're going to go ahead and get started because they can always watch the replay. They just miss out on getting to ask you great questions.
Yeah.
So first off, thank you for being generous enough to come here and do an interview style type thing with me, with my group. Just to give you a little background, my group, I've had it for a couple of years now, and I'm a former retired It Works distributor, and it started from there, and then I realized what I'm really passionate about, and that's being a business and life coach. And so I just have gone full force with that. And so the group all know that we work on different topics. I mean, as you know, it all is in alignment with our mindset, and just, when we're healthy, everything just kind of comes together, doesn't it? So
Yep.
First off, again, thank you for being here. And I'm just going to let you kind of just take the show and share about yourself and what you're up to in life. And maybe you could share one of the stories that I love that you shared, because I've been following you a long time, Facebook stalking you, is a story that you shared a while back about when you worked for the big companies with supplements and stuff like that, and how it led you to where you are today. because
Yeah.
not only are you beautifully sexy and have a beautiful body, but I love how you share about what's on the inside and what matters about that. So, so if you, and your success in your business. So, I'm gonna just let you take it over.
Okay. Well, hey everybody. Like was said, I am from Nebraska. My name is Jodi McLaughlin. I'm a wife and a mom. And I guess what I love about nutrition, I have a nutrition certificate. I have experience in supplement product development, manufacturing, FDA claims. I've worked with the FDA. If anyone tells you that supplements aren't regulated by the FDA, they are wrong, and stop listening to them, by the way. But I guess that's kind of a little bit about my history. I used to do meal plan coaching, that sort of thing. And I'm also an NGA Pro Bikini Bodybuilder. I have my next show in May. So that's exciting too. So that's just kind of, it's just always kind of been my love. Nutrition's a love of mine because as you guys may have figured out, nutrition is 70% of health. And, you know, a good doctor will tell you that your health is your responsibility. Your disease is their responsibility. Okay. So our health starts with us. And one of the things I love about nutrition, one of the things that I think it's best used for is to get our own bodies working the way that they're supposed to work. I think we can all agree that our bodies are very, very smart. They know what they're supposed to be doing. They're designed very, very intelligently, if that's a word. They're very, very intelligent. They know how to regulate itself. The human body is supposed to regulate itself, right? Think about all the amazing things it does without us even thinking about it, right? So where we go wrong in health, in my opinion, is when the body can't do that, okay? And there's a lot of reasons why it can't, but I think a huge reason, especially today, is because it doesn't have the nutritional tools to do so. I always kind of use the car, like your car. Like if you put the wrong type of fuel in your car, it might run, it might do some stuff, it might get you to the grocery store, but is it running efficiently? Is it going to start breaking down? Yeah. So our body cannot possibly function the way it wants to if it doesn't have the nutritional tools to do so.
Yeah.
So, and like what Susan was saying, health to me starts internally. I would rather see what the body is capable of. What can your body do instead of what does it look like? Because I tell you, I know a lot of athletes who look awesome from the outside, but the inside, they're hyper-inflamed, they have issues ranging from A to B to C. That's not always the best, you know, combination of health is how we look, okay? So one of the first thing, like my overall philosophy, I guess, is I would rather be healthy from the inside, because guess what happens when that happens is the way you want to look will eventually come with it if we get the inside working, functioning as needed, okay?
Yeah.
So I guess that's my kind of philosophy with health and nutrition. If you've ever heard this term, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. It's 1000% true. I get a lot of people who are like, well, I ate 500 calories at Burger King, so I'm going to go run until the treadmill tells me to burn 500 calories. It doesn't work like that. That's not the way metabolism works. So you can't out-exercise a bad diet. Now, usually when we think about nutrition, everybody goes to weight loss, right?
Yeah.
Losing weight, losing weight, losing weight. And I'm here to tell you that that eventually will come if your body's regulating itself as it's supposed to. So when it comes to supplementation, you know, there's certain products we can use that will trick the body into doing something. That's on the pharmaceutical side. It'll trick the body into doing something. But supplements on the nutraceutical side actually have a goal of getting your own body to work the way it's supposed to work. Your body can have a strong immune system. Your body can have a high metabolism. Your body can have awesome blood sugar levels. Your body can handle all of these things, of course, unless you're born with a chronic illness. But it has to have nutritional tools to be able to do that. And so that's the goal, in my opinion, of nutrition and supplementation. Am I rambling?
No, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really great. So when you look at the market, and because one of the things I try to encourage the group is, take out the word diet. This is about a healthy lifestyle, and start with the mindset, because you can always start a diet and it goes for 2-3 weeks. And how do the supplements, when you incorporate that into eating healthy and such, how does that benefit the body in a whole?
Well, the first issue that people run into is they have no idea how to eat. They have no idea how to eat. They can look at a food pyramid, which the food pyramid's wrong. That's a whole nother video. But but they can look at these things and they can quote unquote eat healthy, but in all reality, unless you're kind of guided in a way that's specific to you, you may not really know how to eat. But supplementation, honestly, it's just that. It's to supplement. It fills gaps. This day and age, I'll tell you, unless you're growing everything in your backyard or killing everything in your backyard, you are not getting what we're supposed to be getting for our bodies to work optimally. Okay? We have so many things working against us. We're on tons of medication. We have so much in our water. We have so much in our air. We have so much in our personal hygiene products. We have things, honestly, the body's overtaxed. Okay. So in order for us to get back to the way the human body was designed to work, we have to help it out. We have to help it out. And so supplements is just that. So there's kind of two groups of supplements. Okay. There's the kind that gives you macronutrients. Macronutrients are calories. Okay. We only get calories from proteins, fats, and carbs, okay? And 100% alcohol, but that's a very small I don't want to get into that, but basically 3, proteins, fats, and carbs, okay? Those are your macronutrients. Those give you calories, okay? There's supplements that can help with that, and then there's also supplements that just help with micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals. Okay, so 2 different classifications kind of supplements, and depending on what you need and what you're going for and your caloric needs and maybe an issue that you're dealing with, that's kind of going to dictate what supplements that you're going to take. But if I want to give everybody a foundation of health supplement wise, I think they need to be on a whole food complex multivitamin. I think they need to be on a probiotic, and I think they need to be on an omega. Because those are the things that are completely destroyed in today's society. Yeah. So, and I always call that the foundation of health. So your health is kind of like a house, okay? Those things are just your baseline foundation that more often than not, you're not getting from food. So that's that's what supplements I think can do for us. And again, supplements are not meant to trick the body. They're not meant to strong arm your body into doing something or to not do something. You're simply giving it what it needs so it can do its own job. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. So how, with today's market and what there's stuff going on all the time about, try this, do that, like Whole30 or Nutritarian. There's so many that you could choose from. Which ones would you say stay the hell away from?
Well, in my previous life, we saw a lot of brands come across our counter. We had to look at, the FDA has a certain way that labels are supposed to look. We can't make far-reaching claims. A claim is something that's on the front of the bottle that says what the product does, okay? A lot of them have overreaching claims. A lot of them, their labels are set up incorrectly. I've seen $1 million brands with spelling errors on their label. Okay. So but then again, it might be a great product. That's the thing that you run into. So I guess I would stay away from anything that's going to put you, and this is more on the food side, I guess, but it's anything that's going to put you on such a severe caloric deficit that you're barely eating, because your metabolism is going to go through the floor. It's not going to be good. So I always tell people to stay away from the things that say low fat, fat free, low calorie. I mean, why is that the goal, right? So it depends on what your goal, of course, is. But I tell people to stay away from that stuff. That's all marketing. See, the front of a product, you guys, is an advertisement. The back of the product is the truth. Okay. So when you're shopping and you're determining what you're going to do, you have to look at the back of that label to really determine what's going on. That's why something that might say fat free on it, well, great. It has like 2,200 milligrams of sodium though, right? So look on the back instead of the front is an advertisement. The back is the truth. So I guess that's where I like to start. But I'm not one to sit here and throw out, put companies under the bus or brands under the bus. But just know that the vast majority of people who are telling you these things are just the messenger, and they're just told to tell these things because they have a belief system. But I think we need to give ourselves some credit that we can kind of tell what's reputable and what's not. Where people are coming from and where they're not. So I hope that answers the question.
No, that's great. And I love what you said. We don't want to throw anybody under the bus. So another way to probably ask it is like, when you are looking at the ingredients, what do you want to stay away from? I've heard, if it ends in if it ends with lose, stay away from it. If it has corn syrup and, just stuff like that.
Well, that goes into a debate also. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the high fructose corn syrup, but at the same time, I know plenty of healthy people who eat it. It's all encompassing. So it kind of depends on what your health philosophy is. I am a big whole food fan. I'm not a big ketogenic lifestyle fan. Keto is fine for a short amount of time, but I do think you need to carb cycle. Other things that I'm passionate about, let me see. I'm very passionate about people needing to eat carbs around their workouts. So if you work out in the morning, eat your carbs in your morning. If you work out in the evening, eat your carbs in the evening, right? You want to eat your fats away from your workout and your carbs with your workout. Okay, so just remember that. But I would stay away from anything that tells you to fast, anything that tells you to be at a caloric deficit for too long. I like telling people how to eat and how to take supplements and how to make sure their baseline supplementation is taken care of, versus just getting into debates that everybody has different kind of philosophies on. And it depends what works for you. If something works really, really well for you, not just on the weight loss side, but on the health side, that person's going to tout that. So it just kind of depends where you're at. And, everybody who's watching and who's going to watch the replay, you have a specific goal, you have a specific situation, and no across the board plan is going to work for you. You have to really get down to what your health is. Okay. So look at things like body, or blood pressure, look at body fat percentage. Body fat percentage is so much more important than weight, you guys. Look at your body fat percentage. If you're over 30% body fat as a female, it's not good, okay? I don't care if you weigh 120 pounds. There's girls who are size 2 who have over 30% body fat. That's not a good thing. So make sure you know those numbers, okay? Make sure you know your bone density. You can get that taken. Calcium, if you're taking calcium supplements, make sure you're getting vitamin D and magnesium also. Otherwise, you're not absorbing anything out of the calcium that you're taking. So make sure that you know your specific numbers, your specific goal, and then work towards that and find what works for you. Otherwise, it just gets really, really personalized. You do need some sodium. There's some people who are like, no sodium. And I'm like, no, you need sodium. The heart you need it unless you want heart palpitations, which I don't think you do. So I would, I always like to say, we don't want to go overboard on sodium, but you do need it to a point. So I just encourage people to just know what your numbers are, know what your goals are. As far as supplementation, I'm not going to budge on people need a probiotic, an omega, and a whole food based multivitamin daily. Anything above that is just going to completely depend on your goal. Like I take a hair, skin, and nail supplement because I want my hair to grow, and it works amazing. So I'm going to keep taking it, but not everybody has that goal. So I guess the do's and don'ts is supplementation just completely depends on what your goal is and what your state is at the moment. But just know that supplements can do amazing things for you depending on what you need, and what your goal is, for sure. But it's needed today.
Yeah. So if somebody, I'll just use myself. So I already know like what I need to do to eat healthy and what works for my body. And there's just so many different kinds of supplements out there. Like you said earlier, to, start with a whole grain, multi, and, but how do you know, like, what's good to add? Is there like an indicator, or should the multivitamin just work, or?
Well, the body's like a conveyor belt. It's going to take what it needs, right? So a lot of people will say, and this is some of my story. I was a supplement junkie. I was a pre-workout junkie. I was a protein shake junkie. I mean, when you work in that industry, you try supplements all day long, right? That's like what we did. Anyway, so, the body's like a conveyor belt. It's going to take what it needs. So in my opinion, by taking a whole food complex multivitamin, your vitamin is actually sourced with food sources. It's not just synthetic. You can have synthetic sources, which are made in a petri dish by synthetic sources, right? And they put like 23,000% of your daily value needed because they're trying to get your body to absorb some of it, which it's not going to because it's synthetic, right? Or you can source it with plants and with real food that the body actually recognizes, because that's what human beings are meant to take. And then it's going to take what it needs from that conveyor belt.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Somebody with chronic illness, a life-threatening or a chronic illness who's under a doctor's care, they're going to know exactly what milligrams or cc's or whatever that they need of a certain, pharmaceutical or nutraceutical every day. And that would give them more of a guideline. But general health speaking, just to get the body working again, which is step number one, any goal that you have, the body has to be functioning. I'm talking about body functioning. Fill your body with whole food all the time, and then take vitamins. Vitamin supplements are usually taken for the average. They're usually formulated for the average person. So just take whatever the directions are on the label. Take them consistently. Be honest with yourself that you're taking them consistently, which a lot of people don't. Like, they work a lot better when you take them.
And more than 30 days. I've heard, even if you go to the doctor, they prescribe stuff and they have you on, usually for the most part, 30 days or more. But how do you really know if it's going to work for you or not if you don't go beyond 30 days?
Yeah.
How long would you actually say take them for?
Because there's this thing called homeostasis. The body wants to maintain homeostasis. So this is kind of a sad example, but I'll use it. Like, think of a drug user, okay? That's what their body knows. That's why when they get off of that drug, they kind of freak out, right? They have that relapse, and it's hard for them to snap out of that because that's their body's homeostasis. As bad as it is, that's their body's homeostasis. So like an obese person, that's why when their body starts getting good stuff, they might feel sick. They might feel low energy. They might feel depressed. You are literally breaking your body from that homeostasis. And instead of running back, because you're literally fighting your body at that point, because your body's saying, no, my normal is over here. And you're saying, but that's not good for me, so I have to get back over here. You have to break that homeostasis, and that can take time. And the biggest thing is time and consistency with that. And then your body eventually builds a new homeostasis, and you like being over there now. Whereas you didn't when you were trying to get over there. So that's why consistency is so important with supplements. Okay. A lot of people, they used to come to me and they had been unhealthy eaters for 20 years and they expected to just fall in love with good food after 30 days. That's not going to happen. You have to gradually make that shift.
Yeah. So when you're helping somebody, what is it that you're doing with them? Like, do you create a plan, or what is it that you
I
do?
used to. I don't do that for a living anymore, but I used to. There's a series of questions that I would need to know, and then I figure out macros and I figure out a plan for them. You know, that's just something that's more personalized. But you know, I found this brand of supplements, and when I started looking at the labels, I'm like, hallelujah, this makes sense. It's a reputable company. It's actually backed by products or by sources when they source their products from that I can actually get behind. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus synthetic Walmart stuff that you have to seriously overload your system with to absorb anything, right?
Yeah.
You get what you pay for. So when I saw this and I looked at the sources and everything, I was just blown away. And I was like, I can get behind this because I believe in it. And when you believe in something, it makes you that much more passionate about sharing it, and it turns into something beautiful. So I'm now home full time with my kids.
Yay!
Yay! And so, yeah, I left corporate America to do this business of my supplements full time. And we have things, the vast majority of our products are general health, which I, because again, if you can't get that foundation right, if you can't get your body working correctly, nothing else matters. You can take supplements that trick your body all day long, but until you get that foundation of health under control, that's when your aesthetics or your looks, your desired look, actually starts coming. You got to get your body functioning again. And so that's why I'm so passionate about the line that I have.
Well, and that, I mean, that really just makes sense, having that foundation. I mean, because I have to admit that almost 3 years ago, when I first started taking supplements, I had amazing immediate results for, you know, quite a while, but then it just stopped and I couldn't figure it out. Well, you know, that's because I kept eating donuts and baked goods, and I didn't have that foundation that you're talking about to maintain it. So, no, I love that. There's some girls in the group who have like this thing about sugar. I've heard that if you crave sugar often, it could be a couple of different things, but a couple of things that I've heard is, one, you could be missing like or lacking in protein. Another could be it's just stress, something that you're, you know, whatever there. And then the other thing was like a yeast, candida yeast, that's it, because sugar feeds that stuff. So what would you tell somebody who has an addiction to sugar?
Well, first of all, I'm not anti-sugar, I'm anti-sugar source. Okay. So, you know, when I'm about ready to get on stage and I'm under 10% body fat, I'm eating fruit, I'm eating sugar in my diet. I always have. That's something I've never dropped. So I'm not anti-sugar. I will say that when you do have sugar, you do want to eat protein with it because that keeps your glycemic index level. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
So if you screw up and have a donut, okay, I want you to go find a protein and eat it with it, okay? And just make sure that you are keeping somewhat track of your calories that day so you don't go over your calorie limit. But I encourage you to, if you do slip up and have some sugar, just have some protein with it, okay?
Okay.
Then, because once your index goes like this, and we get those spikes, that's when our metabolism can really screw up. And, you know, when we get cravings for bad things, usually that's our body's red flag. It's telling us we're not getting something. We could not be getting vitamin B. We could not be getting phosphate. We could not be getting everything you can think of under the sun that we should be getting. And so how do we know what it is? I guess make sure your foundation is there to see if that may not be it. Are you getting an omega? Are you getting minerals? Are you getting water? Are you getting, I mean, we don't need to sit here and self-diagnose. We just need to think about it. You know, greens powder is one of my favorite products that I sell. Are you getting good fiber? Are you getting these things that are just so basic, but most people don't get them? So,
Right.
you know, instead of diagnosing ourselves with a disease, let's go back and make sure that we're actually getting our foundation before we go crazy. And a lot of times it tastes good. I mean, let's be honest, we're human. And if there's some sugars that taste good, then that it comes down to a discipline issue. How bad do you want to meet your given goal? And if you do slip up, have that donut, whatever, it's Friday, there's donuts at the office and you have one, whatever. Make sure it's in the morning, make sure it's around your workout, and then kind of lower your calories for the day and eat protein with it, so your index doesn't go all over the place. So that's just a way to combat that. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm anti-sugar, anti-carb, because I'm not. I'm anti-bad sugar, and I'm anti-carbs at the wrong ratio at the wrong times.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So, well, it looks like we've got a few people on here. Hi, guys. So, you're live with Jodi McLaughlin from Nebraska, and she's been sharing some really amazing information. You're welcome to go back and watch the replay later. Take some notes. Does anybody have any questions that you would like to ask Jodi? And let me know you're here. I see that you're watching, so put some love, push on those hearts there. And just, if you have any questions, now's the time. If not, Jodi, what's a way for people to connect with you, maybe to ask nutrition supplement questions, you know, like what's best for, I don't want to say what's best for them, but like direction or something?
They can message me anytime on Facebook, or you know what I'm doing right now, I'll just put my number in the comments.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
But they can absolutely text me, message me, call me. I do this full time, so this is a love of mine. I have an app with workouts and some fun recipes in there too that incorporate the type of carbs that I like to see people eating.
Nice. Okay.
Something I'm asked about all the time is protein shakes. Do you want me to talk about that?
Yes. I know. I love my protein shakes, especially the new ones.
Yes. So protein is amazing. It's needed. If more than 70%, I'd say, well, actually, I'd say even more than 60% of your daily caloric intake is coming from protein, you're going to have kidney issues. So make sure that you're not jumping aboard that train where all you eat is protein, and you're forgetting your healthy fats and you're forgetting your healthy carbs. Okay. So healthy fats is huge, especially in females. I would say one of the biggest macronutrient deficiencies is healthy fats. Especially in women, we don't get enough for cognitive brain function, nervous system. We need healthy fats. So that's something that's so vital. But the protein shakes definitely has a place. I mean, I always like to see people getting something in their tummies every 2.5 to 3 hours. Because our ancestors in nature, you guys, that's what our ancestors were doing. We were grazers. We didn't have specific 3 times that we eat a day. They were honestly looking for food and eating food all day long. They didn't have specific set meals that they went to the kitchen for, right? So the fact that it's innate in us to be the grazers, I really think 2.5 to 3 hours is usually the window when people need to be eating. Now, there are people who cannot sit down during their day every 2.5 to 3 hours and eat. There's nurses, there's teachers, you name it. And that's where supplementation comes in. Now, I always say you want to chew more protein than you drink, okay? You want the process of chewing, the saliva, that's our body's first kind of flag that, okay, we're getting something in. It's the first digestive process. So by drinking all of your protein, it kind of bypasses that. And I really think protein shakes are supposed to supplement, not make. Okay. So it's a supplement for protein. You absolutely should be getting. So that's kind of my thing on protein shakes. This might be a whole nother video, but I'm not a big fan of dairy. Cause
me either.
Cows. We're not baby cows, you guys. Think about what is the point of cow milk? To grow a calf into a cow. Like, I don't know about you. human beings don't have the digestive enzymes that cows do. Okay, so there might be protein in it, but our bodies might see that as sugar, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't digest. We're not cows, right? It's a totally different mammal than us. So, my protein powder that I use is vegan. I'm not a vegan. I'm a meat eater, but I'm not a dairy fan. So I get my protein shake is vegan. It's plant based. It's plant sourced.
Yeah.
So that is my preference for a protein. It's amazing. When I used to cut dairy out of people's diets, it's amazing what would happen in 2 weeks. They'd be down pounds. Their acne would be clearing up. Their migraines would be going away.
Yeah.
Just amazing. But then there's some people who do fine on it. So it just kind of depends. But generally speaking, I'm not a big dairy fan, which is why my proteins are vegan sourced. And it's hard to find a vegan sourced protein that tastes any good.
Yeah.
But I found one, and that's mine. And I absolutely was floored when I tasted it the first time. I'm like, finally, there's a good tasting vegan.
Yeah.
How many vegan protein shakes my day? I've tried every single. I've been to product conventions on the East Coast, West Coast. They have samples everywhere. I've tried them all. The vegan ones, they're just no good. So when I finally found one where the vegan is delicious, I was like, we're changing the world.
Right? Nice.
It's over. I'm so excited.
Well, it looks like we have some shy people on here watching, those peepers.
That's okay.
So, is there anything that you would like to share with the group, leave them with some inspiration or tips, anything that you could leave them with that would help them? Just because what I notice in the group that comes up a lot too is meal planning, sticking to a meal plan. And I mean, like you said earlier, if you want to accomplish that goal, then you just got to deal with your mindset. But yeah, just anything that if tomorrow, they could wake up and start something new, what would you give them?
Okay. So what I would say is make sure that you have food cooked and separated and ready in your fridge. So when I'm gonna, tell somebody to just how to eat without doing a personalized meal plan, if you just generally want to start being better, okay, I want to look in your fridge and I want to see a Tupperware full of ground beef. I want to see a Tupperware full of ground turkey. I want to see a Tupperware full of baked chicken breast. And then I want to see Tupperwares full of steamed broccoli and asparagus. Asparagus is a natural diuretic, by the way. If you feel like you're retaining water, start eating a lot of asparagus.
Okay.
I want to see Tupperwares full of brown rice that's already cooked. Okay?
Nice.
And here's how you eat. You literally get a plate out of the cupboard and you pick and choose from those different Tupperwares. You make a plate, you heat it up, and you eat it. You can can take it with you for lunch. Okay?
Yeah.
Have those things in the fridge cooked and done. So you literally, it's kind of like leftovers in a way, but you literally can pull out Tupperwares and just make sure you have a protein, you have a healthy carb, and you have a green, and then put some olive oil on it or avocado, almonds if you don't have a healthy fat in there. And literally that's your meal. Do that.
Nice.
Twice a day.
Okay.
I would love for you to do it 4 or 5 times a day, but start with twice a day. And see how your body can change. And I just want to tell you guys, when you're starting something new like this, it's hard, not because you're not a hard worker. It's hard not because you're not motivated. It's hard not because you just don't want it bad enough. It's hard because your body is literally fighting against you.
Wow.
You are trying to break a homeostasis that you may have known, your body may be used to for years, okay?
Yeah.
So I don't want you to be hard on yourself and say, I suck, I can't do this, and all those places where our mind goes. I want you to give yourself some grace because your body is literally fighting itself. Okay, when you're starting something like this.
Wow.
So if you can give yourself that grace, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. You'd be like, okay, I'm fighting myself, you know, I don't suck. I'm not a bad person if this is hard. This is hard because I'm literally fighting my body. Your mind is fighting your body. Okay?
Right.
So give yourself some grace if it's hard, because it is hard. But I promise you,
Yeah.
once you break through that barrier and your body starts to create that new homeostasis, you feel better than you ever have. And it's something that I think everybody, I've always said, I think everybody deserves once in their life to see their body the way that it's designed, the way it's designed to look, the way it's designed to feel, the way that's designed to function. And once you start moving your mind to, I'm going to stop worrying about what I look like. I'm going to start seeing what my body can do. I'm going to start seeing how it can function better. I want to start seeing, I want to start getting out of bed sooner or easier in the morning. I want to stop having joint pain. I want to lift 5 more pounds next week than I did this week. So if you start looking at function and things your body can do and stop worrying about what you look like, that eventually will come. And you won't get burnt out because you're in love with the process versus just something in the mirror that's never going to be perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That was great. All right, Jodi.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything else that you'd like to add before we end, right now would be a good time. It doesn't look like anybody at this point has questions, but I'd love if anybody has a question. This is your opportunity to ask Jodi right now. We're going to end this here in a couple of minutes. So if you have a question, I'll give you a second to get that typed in. I see we have Helen, Barta, Shannon, Darcy, putting you guys on the hot seat. So if you have a question,
Calling them out.
Calling you out. So yeah, well, first off, I just want to thank you again for taking some time out of your busy schedule, because I know entrepreneurship is, you know, it can be grueling at times. I'm glad you were able to get your kiddos. My husband's doing a great job keeping Bella busy for me.
There you go.
Is there anything you want to share about your business?
Yeah, so my business is basically, our philosophy is kind of just what I talked about tonight. It's basically about improving the body on the inside and the outside. Okay, so we have products that help on the outside of the body, and we also have products that improve body function and health on the inside of the body. So it's an all-encompassing thing. And then we have products that are just fun. Because I do have customers who honestly don't care, and they can straight up admit that they don't really care about their health, but they want to look good, or they just want to take care of their skin or whatever. So we're kind of multifaceted, but it's basically, let's take care of our outside and our inside of the body. We even have a product that can lower cortisol, which is so important.
Yes.
It's really hard to drop pounds if your cortisol or stress levels are really high. So we even have a product for that. So it's kind of across the board. You sugar lovers, you can contact me for a carb blocker also. That works really good to keep your blood sugars in line. Yeah. Yeah, just message me. It's everybody's different, but that's the philosophy of the brand. And if that makes sense to you, reach out to me and we can see if we can get that foundation better for you.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jodi.
All right.
You have a wonderful evening, and thanks
you
you guys who showed up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jodi.
You bet.